Namaste. Let us move to the next problem in the liquidator's final statement. Following was the balance sheet of Good Luck Company Limited. So they have given here the various assets and liabilities. So there is equity share of 2 lakh and profit and loss account. This we are not taking. Equity share capital we are paying only if there is sufficient balance. Then trade creditors, in that partly secured creditors is there. How much? 29,180. Then then trade creditors they have given. So usually trade creditors are considered as unsecured creditors. Okay, always remember this. Bank overdraft they have given, it is unsecured. Then salary for 6 months they have given. So there is some provision regarding the salary, outstanding salary in the case of winding up. Taxes due to government. So at the time of winding up, what we are supposed to do? So usually this taxes due to government is considered as preferential. Then assets, fixed assets, in that building they have given machinery, goodwill. Current assets, stock, debtors, cash. Then they said the company went into liquidation and the assets realized as follows. So building they have given, building which was used in the first instance to pay partly secured creditors pro rata 18,000. So only 18,000 is available, so we have to equally distribute it among all those partly secured creditors. And there is machinery, stock, debtors. Always remember, these are the assets realized. The assets which are not realized, we are not supposed to take that amount. So we have to take only these many, right? Expenses of liquidation 1,100. The liquidator's remuneration 3% on the assets realized except cash, okay, and 2% on the amount paid to unsecured creditors other than preferential. So usually if they have given only this much unsecured creditors, that means what? We have to take unsecured creditors and preferential creditors. On the total amount we have to calculate the commission. But in this problem they have given other than preferential. So preferential creditors we are not taking for calculation of liquidator's remuneration. Prepare liquidator's final statement of account. So we have to prepare this. So before that there are certain adjustments. So one by one we can analyze, then we can prepare finally. See here they have given the amount realized from the assets shall be taken into account and not the book value of account. This all of you know, right? So whatever amount realized, that only we have to take. Amount realized. Then goodwill valued at rupees 30,000 is worthless. I told you, because in the adjustment they haven't given anything. They haven't realized anything. So goodwill is valueless. We should not take. Profit and loss account, I told you in the previous class itself, we are not supposed to take. Assets realized, unless otherwise given, assets realized do not include cash. So usually assets realized do not include cash. Okay. So liquidator is not entitled to get the commission on cash. However, if cash in hand or bank balances are specifically included in the list of assets realized by the liquidator, then they should be taken into account for the purpose of calculation of liquidator's remuneration. But if they have given, okay, assets realized, under that they have given cash, that means we have to add cash, okay, for calculating the liquidator's remuneration. Otherwise we are not supposed to take. In this problem we are not supposed to take. It is not clearly given as to who realized building. So usually if liquidator realizes the building, he will get the commission on that. Okay, but in this problem they haven't given who has realized the building. So it is assumed that secured creditors with the charge over the asset realize themselves. So it is assumed that secured creditors, they sold the building and they distributed the cash and there is no surplus. So nothing is given to liquidator. So no commission is payable to the liquidator on the realization. This note you have to write. Okay, you have to write as a note. It is considered as the buildings are realized by the secured creditors themselves. So liquidator is not getting any commission. Clear? Then they said building realized rupees 18,000 and it was paid to partly secured creditors. Okay, partly secured creditors we have given. So one thing we should remember, when secured creditors are not getting the full amount from the asset, the balance amount is considered as unsecured creditors and that will be added to unsecured creditors. Okay, the balance of partly paid creditors left unsatisfied. Okay, left unsatisfied, that is the claims of party secured creditors less the amount realized by the sale of assets given as a security. Okay, here what is the total value of secured creditors? We have to see the total value of secured creditors. How much? Partly paid secured creditors 29,180, correct? So the same thing we have to take into consideration. That means we have to pay 29,180, but how much we realized from the building? Only 18,000. So what is the amount pending? 11,180. See, this 11,180 shall be added to unsecured creditors. So this you should remember. 11,180 from the unsatisfied value we are taking into consideration as unsecured creditors. Clear? Then salary outstanding. So here there is a condition. See, all wages and salary of any employee not exceeding 20,000. So any amount within 20,000 in respect of services rendered to the company and due for a period not exceeding 4 months. So 4 months salary within the said 12 months before the date of winding up. So before the company is closed down, okay, within that year, 4 months salary is considered as preferential creditors. That means before paying the unsecured creditors, they have to make the payment of salary. Clear? So in this problem, salary for 6 months is given, 6,300. Okay. So salary due but not paid. You know, it is outstanding salary because in the balance sheet they have given on the liability side. Out of this, salary for 4 months is considered as preferential creditors. I told you 4 months salary. How to calculate? Here you see. For 6 months, 6 months they have given 6,300. For 4 months, how much? So it is cross multiplication. Cross multiplication, that is 6,300 into 4 divided by 6. Clear? So how much it will be? 6,300 divided by 6 into 4. Yeah, 4,200. Right? 4,200. It is considered as preferential creditors. So total how much? 6,300 minus 4,200. It is 2,100 is considered as unsecured creditors. Clear? Okay. Then taxes due to government. All revenue taxes, cesses and rates due to the central and state government or local authority which have become due and payable within 12 months before the date of winding up. So before the date of winding up, within 12 months, whatever payment is there to the government, it should be considered as preferential creditors. So before paying the unsecured creditors, we have to make the payment. Clear? So taxes due to government is preferential creditors. Total amount of unsecured creditors. Now we have to find out what is the total value of unsecured creditors. See here, unsatisfied balance of partly secured creditors. This is building we gave and the balance amount was there, no? That we considered. Yeah, here we considered, right? 11,180. So that should be considered as unsecured creditors. Then salary due for 2 months, because 4 months salary we considered as preferential, right? So 2 months salary we should consider as unsecured creditors. Clear? So salary due for 2 months, it is unsecured creditors. Then in the balance sheet they have given trade creditors. So usually trade creditors are considered as unsecured creditors, that we have to add. Then bank overdraft they have given in the problem itself. Bank overdraft, it is specifically given as unsecured 1100. So we have to make the total of all the four, and it is 1,11,980. Clear? This is the total value of unsecured creditors. Liquidators commission on the amount paid to unsecured creditors. Unless otherwise specified, liquidators remuneration should be calculated on the total amount paid to unsecured creditors, including the preferential creditors. We have seen this, right? Including the preferential creditors. But in this question, specific instructions are given. Specific instructions are given as to, they said unsecured creditors other than preferential creditors, right? So we are excluding the preferential creditors. So while calculating, we are taking into consideration only unsecured creditors other than preferential creditors. Okay, now let us calculate the liquidators remuneration. They said 3% on the total assets realized, right? So what is the total value of assets realized? Here they have given assets realized. Whatever they have given in the adjustment only we have to take, right? So 99,500. Here we are not including building, because we are considering as the secured creditors, they sold the building themselves and they have taken the amount, right? So other than that we are taking assets realized 99,500, 3%. So they said, see, liquidators remuneration, they have given two conditions. One is what? 3% on total assets realized, another one 2% on the amount paid to unsecured creditors. So the first one we will calculate. That is 2,985. Correct. Now second one, unsecured creditors we have to calculate, right? So we know what is unsecured creditors. In the previous part we just calculated it total. Now we should see whether it is 2 by 100 or 2 by 102. Okay, whether there is like sufficient cash or there is deficit. How to calculate? First we should see total cash available for the payment. So including cash. So total amount we have is 1 lakh, right? That is 99,500 and cash balance 500. So total is 1 lakh less liquidators remuneration. So what we have calculated previously before this, yeah, 2,985. This we have to take. Then liquidation expenses we have to take. Then preferential creditors 4,200, salary due, that is 4 months salary, and taxes due. So total 5,000, right? Now what we are supposed to do? So these many payments we have to make. So total of this is 9,085. So from 1 lakh you are deducting this, so it is 90,915. Now the cash available is 90,915, right? But what is the amount of unsecured creditors? See here, 1,11,980. Just now we calculated, right? That means what? It is less. There is deficiency. So how we are supposed to calculate? 90,000, this is the cash available. How much cash available? 90,915 into 2 divided by 102. 2 divided by 102. This we are calculating. So it is yeah, 1,783. Now total is what? 3% and 2%. 3% and 2% they have given. So we have to add this both. So 2,985 and what? Here we calculated 1783. Total of both the sides will get 4786. This is the liquidator's remuneration. Clear? Okay. The balance of cash available, we calculated 90,915, but in this case, what happens? Commission. So commission is paid. It is included, right? 2 divided by 102. So this should be given 1783. So if you are deducting this, how much amount is given? 89,132. This should be given. Now finally we can prepare liquidator's final statement. So assets realized. All these assets we are writing, right? 99,500. Then cash 500. Liquidators remuneration 4,768. Then liquidation expenses. Then comes preferential creditors, salary due, taxes due 5,000. So remaining balance will be given to the unsecured creditors 89,132. I hope you understood this problem. Thank you.